Hello all, I've just got off a Zoom call, little meeting, little interview, little chat with a guy called Gareth Taylor, Chadderton Cotts, and also Dame Blackshaw of Mossley Women's. Yeah.
Anyway, this is Karl from Champics, isn't it?
Champics, yeah. Photography.
Yeah, he's done photography for the WSL, stuff like that. Karl, this is Dave.
Right, Dave.
Manager of Mossley Women's.
Okay.
Which I've seen play.
Not too bad, Dave.
So last day in this because I run an amateur team,
Okay.
me in the Lancashire and Cheshire League, and I do Mossley Academy as well. So they, in a way, like obviously because your team's not like a semi-pro team, but with COVID, how does it affect your training and your team and stuff like that?
The training it's been hard really, mostly because it's pretty stop-start. So we get the girls to a certain standard of fitness, and then it has to stop. So if we stop for 4 or 5 weeks, it is a nightmare. So to be honest, it's been a credit to the girls because they've kept going and kept the fitness quite well. The actual training sessions, unless we're in lockdown, are pretty okay really. Once obviously we've got to all get their social distance and everything, but once we're there, obviously we wash our hands, etc. The sessions are pretty much the same as what they would be without COVID.
Yeah, I mean, because we had the same problem. Obviously we're only amateur, but it's like I tell my lads and everything like that. If the game snap, I want to win it. No matter, I know, some people they come and think, oh, it's just for fitness and stuff like that. But we had the same problem because we had that break, and then when the restrictions were over and they told us allowed to play again, we didn't train because the school where we trained at Failsworth opened up later. So we went straight to a game, and everybody they were dead. And I spoke to other managers, and they were saying the same thing because we're concentrating on the fitness, and then you're off for a month or two, and then the fitness is just dropped. Because I think tomorrow I'm speaking to David Fish about it. Obviously, how it's affected him and stuff like that. Because I've worked with Mossley anyway, and I do with the academy. I know it's a massive club, but it's I can't remember. I think I spoke to David Fish about it, what he's saying about the training, and it's just all gone because there's a new manager just come in as well, and it's massively affected. But what do you think about the thing here? And the same as well for you, Karl, about the junior football carrying on. Do you think that should have been stopped, or?
I think it's a real tough one. I don't think there's rights and wrongs, to be fair, because obviously the juniors, it's the mental health side of it as well. I mean, I get phone call, text messages and stuff off the ladies constantly asking when we can train and when stuff. And I think fitness for the kids as well, is a massive deal for them. The thing is as well is it's outside. I think if it's well controlled, I really don't see a problem as long as everyone's pretty sensible. We're allowed in supermarkets and stuff like that where you're inside and you know what I mean. So it's a tough one. It's a real tough one for everyone. But I agree with it carrying on, and to a certain extent, I think we need to get back to training as well. But obviously, at the moment, we're in a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I spoke to Mark when this lockdown come about, and he's come in about saying, training, games, everything has stopped. I thought, like you said, it's in a well-controlled environment, and obviously, like the lads are old enough to obviously social distance on a massive pitch, full 11-side pitch. You can spread out plenty there and stay away from each other, and obviously still like continue to train your team. Obviously, not like it'll still be difficult because you can't have the contact. It's like when the first lockdown was over, we was allowed to resume training, but we were told by the FA to keep a distance. So we had to walk around training where we're like saying, well, we can't tackle. But the fitness is still there, and it's still obviously exercise outside. So, like I said on a few of my lads, in my opinion, I thought, well, adults, we can control ourselves, we know right from wrong and stuff like that. I thought we could at least, like, or the government or FA, whoever it's up to, say, right, continue. But they're the rules, like, spread, like, obviously distance and stuff like that, like fitness, because obviously being locked up, like start and stop, people are locked up, and like for a lot of lads on a Saturday night now, whoever, it's probably like 90 minutes of football to escape from whatever they're thinking, whatever problems they've got at home, that's an escape. Even if it's just like in training, like meeting up with, your mates, like you still keep the distance, still like chat from that distance, and just like, it's just that physical exercise and being, around your teammates at a distance. I thought would have been all right, or some rules around that to say like we'll continue training but no matches.
They're doing PE in schools as well, so I don't see what the difference between that and youths getting together once a week to have a training session is.
That's what I was thinking, because, like I said, it's more than mental health side as well.
Yeah,
I think for people anyway, because I don't know if you speak to your girls as well, but like I guess like people not just from my team and like saying, I wish football were back on. I miss football, I miss training. Can we not train? And I'm like, the rules are we can't train. That's from the FA. They're saying nothing, no football. I said I can't say, meet me up somewhere. We'll have a sneaky training session. It can't be done.
I think that's a massive key to it. That I understand the matches being called off, because obviously getting two teams together and that would be a nightmare. And obviously a match situation is totally different. But I really do think they need to look at the training. The other side of it is as well is the longer it goes on, especially in grassroots football, especially the ladies. My worry is how many of these are going to get eventually think, do you know what? We've not played for 6 or 7 weeks. I'm just going to leave it and just leave the game completely. And I think that would be an absolute a massive shame. I think a lot of teams will lose some very, very good players. The longer this goes on for.
I mean, can I add to that as well? I'm a massive advocate for the women's game, and it's nice to see over the last couple of years the FA are doing like these Wildcat Mondays and putting a lot of effort into building that up from the grassroots and from the youth level. And as you said, a curtailed break in it now would probably just lose all that momentum altogether.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, because I would think like with the junior footballs going on. See, I don't do junior football, so I don't receive like an email or anything like that. But are parents allowed to go to watch the games? Because in a way, like the government's now saying that like the schools being shut and stuff like that because it can spread faster through kids, like they don't know they got it, and then obviously spread it onto us. Now I'm thinking like, say, all the parent takes the kid to the game, and that, would it not pass on through that way? All the parents being on the sideline. I mean, is it any different from like the parents on the sideline watching the child play football than it is to us at a distance?
Yeah,
I think more the same. Like, because I've been to, like, before I start my game, to junior football down there, and to be honest, when I've been there, there's been about 30 people watching, like on the sideline, stuff like that. So, you mean at training, realistically, you're getting about 15, but I do anyway, probably less numbers than that sometimes. at training on a massive pitch. I thought it could have gone ahead.
But then do you strip away, in the name of safety, the moral support of having a parent on the sideline? That's the ultimate debate, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's in my opinion, I think it's difficult for teams, like you say, like, do the parents stay away, or does that, like, you're about saying it can spread from, like, say if I had it, because I know just before Christmas there were 5 of my lads that come down with COVID.
Okay.
So our fixtures had stopped there. Luckily enough, we didn't have one because it was coming all up, like the lockdown and stuff like that, come up to Christmas.
Mm.
But luckily it stopped there, and they got over it. But, like, so I said mine, like, because so if I contracted that COVID then, and my kid were playing for junior football, and obviously I'd have to take it to the game. Obviously, he don't know if he's got it or not. Obviously, mixing, and then I'm stood next to the other parents.
Yeah.
Some of the lads didn't know they had it. One took a test because his partner, she was showing symptoms, so he had to take her down to a test centre. And he just got one just because he was there. And he come back saying he had it. And obviously, one of our lads picked him up. Then it just spread and spread and spread.
Yeah, it's scary. I saw an interview with, of all people, Peter Andre today, and he said that he thought he picked up a virus off his nipper last week, but his missus was nagging, so he went to have a test, and he didn't have any other symptoms. He thought he was fine, and he came back positive for it. So it's just how it works, I guess, that disease.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange. I mean, then what is it like? I mean, at the minute, normally my team's well sponsored. Like, we get quite a bit of funding to pay for our pitches, or even any tracksuits or anything like that. At the minute, because of this COVID, his business is slowly, he's struggling, like, to keep it afloat. To be honest, we couldn't receive any, like, sponsor money or anything like that. Has it been like anything for you, or have you been, like, looking at the back?
We've been really lucky because we got 2 sponsors when we actually went to Mossley. So last season, so that was a 2-year deal. So the 2 main sponsors were absolutely fine. So we've been okay with there. And I mean, training facilities and stuff like that, to be honest, Mossley Football Club have been absolutely brilliant. They've let us train on the pitch at the stadium when we couldn't train, because we usually train at Droylsden Academy. But like you said before, with the schools shutting, that's the other problem I'm going to face when we actually do get back to play. Is if Droylsden Academy is actually still shut, then I've got nowhere to train. But Mossley have already said we can use the stadium pitch, which, to be honest, they've been absolutely fantastic that way. Because they've got the first team as well. They've got the under 21s. And obviously the groundsman's doing a fantastic job to keep that going. Really, it really is. It's a difficult situation for everyone, really, but we're just keeping going.
Yeah, I mean, what's it been like for you, Karl? Because I know you do a lot of, like you said.
So there's a lot of what I've already heard off yourselves about all the stop-starting stuff, and some of the chaos that's been around it with how stop-start the season's been. We've had the main team will shoot with his Redditch United men's first team, and they've had a new gaffer in this summer, and he feels like he's barely had any time with the lads to implement stuff. Obviously at non-league level as well, there's a lot of ins and a lot of outs on a weekly basis, so he doesn't know anywhere near his first 11 at the minute. And from the lads' point of view, from speaking to them during warm-ups, they have a love of the game. They just want to play, even if they're only allowed to train once a week. And it's quite frustrating from their point of view. In terms of me with the photography, pretty much the same. It's my first season, and I'm coming away from every game with, I could do this better, I could do that better. And then we've got no game for a month or two. So it's I feel the lads' frustration, because I've kind of got it in terms of they've got it tactically, I've got it in different ways, so we're kind of all in that ship together. And in terms of the women's game, I I did Birmingham City versus Man United in the WSL back in September. And there was a lot of red tape and hoops to go through on the day in terms of safety measures. Haven't got down there since because they have lost a few games to COVID, and they've also lost a couple of games to the weather. Plus, I'm their backup option to their official guy, and he doesn't seem to take a day off. So, with numbers being as tight as they are at the moment, there's not enough for them to have two guys down there. So, I've also been shooting with Solihull Moors women and Redditch United women as well, who actually had a bit of an FA Cup run to the first round. Oh, Solihull Moors ladies reached the first round of the FA Cup. Redditch went out the round before, but Redditch managed to knock out Doncaster Bells along the way. So that was a particular highlight.
Just before we go there,
I know Redditch United women Redditch United women are at stop again now. I think Solihull Moors women, as far as I know, their league are planning to try and finish the season, but there ain't going to be any fixtures this side of February by the sounds of it at the moment.
All right. Just before we go there, have you? I've seen a few teams now comment on a thing. I think it was a statement by the FA saying that all non-league football, anything like that, may be cancelled. Would that affect your women's team, or does that, is it different, or?
It could be slightly different because obviously the men's leagues, you have 20 teams in a league. With the women, we're in the Greater Manchester League at the moment, and like I said, last year we were in the top 3 last year and looked like we were going to get promoted to the North West Counties, that's what we're trying to do, and then obviously go up from there. Last year it got nil and void because we lost. I think it was a big chunk right at the end of the season. I think this season we've managed to get 8 league games in so far, and at the moment there's only actually 10 teams in the league. So I think we should be okay, depending on what happens. If we could start, back at like March time, I think we'll still get the games in. But again, obviously, it's the problem of the more they don't play and the longer it goes on, we're going to have a couple of weeks, training and stuff to get them into some sort of, fitness to play a game of football. Because I think sometimes the leagues think that we can just, the lockdown will finish on the Thursday and we can play a game on the Sunday. And it doesn't work like that. You need to understand that you need at least a week or two, to get the girls or the men, back in and get them back to fitness kind of thing. Because playing a match is nothing like training. It can be quite dangerous, really, and for injuries and stuff. So I think we might be okay. Like I say, we're lucky as well because we've got the stadium, so we can play night games. We're allowed, and stuff like that. So we at the moment we're hoping to get the season in really badly because we're looking in a good place at the moment. Like I say, that's why it's an absolute credit to the Mossley ladies because we're third in the league. We're in the semi-final of the League Cup, and I know it's the same for everyone, but the football we play, the passing game we play, and the pressing, we need that fitness as well. We're in a good place at the moment. So it'll be an absolute. I mean, if the league gets cancelled, it will be a massive shame, but we'll just go again.
Yeah, that's the thing with the women's games. The leagues are a lot smaller, so there's a lot more time to get the fixtures in. I mean, I don't think they'd normally finish as late as the men's game, but this season they probably will end up finishing as late as the men's game. And like you said, the fitness levels with the women's game, because that's the one part of the massive reason I love the women's game. It's a lot more expansive. I tend to find there's a lot more goals in the women's game. It's a lot more open. There's less sort of part of the bus scenarios. It's just go end to end stuff a lot of the time.
Yeah, a bit like Leeds United, isn't it? At least. Before you go there, I know you're a Man City supporter. What do you think you do tomorrow in the FA Cup?
I think we'll win tomorrow. They're starting to come. Yeah, I think they've got a chance of winning the whole thing again.
Who do you support, Dan?
It all depends on what side he puts out tomorrow. Depends who he rests, and it depends if they got the lads back from COVID, because obviously it's pretty bad.
Who are we talking about, Dan? Who do you support?
I support Leeds United. We play tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going for. I'm saying the way Bielsa plays, I don't think, even though it's an FA Cup and it's like the team's a lot, down in the league than us, lower leagues. I don't think he's going to play a different way. Like the way Leeds going now, I don't know if it's going to be 7-6 or something like that, because we're always open. Because I think his motto is, and everybody says it, I think it's just try out score the other team. If we concede 6, go 7. It is like watching Sunday League or Saturday League.
It's refreshing to see. It's refreshing to see that type of football back in the top flight. There's too many tight affairs and parking of buses and all this stuff. It's refreshing to see a coach out there who wants to go proper, like Kevin Keegan, and attack and will win by scoring more.
Definitely. Yeah. That's the way to go. That's the way to play football anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair though, when we first played City, all my mates, like my team's full of City supporters. All my mates, to be honest, I don't know why, but I just can't stand City. just can't stand City, but I was ready that game when we played them. I thought we're going to get hammered here, because with anything with pace when they get against Leeds United, it seems to, like Man United with a pace. You know what I mean?
I'm a Birmingham fan, and we live by a motto of we might get beat every week and we don't expect to win, but if we see a bit of entertainment on the pitch, we'll go home happy. You know what I mean? So it's kind of that philosophy, isn't it? You might have weeks where you go out and attack and you get on the end of a bit of a dicking, but at least you've seen a good bit of football down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Right, well, I'm going to run out of time on the Zoom, so
Dave,
thanks for joining and giving your views. Same as to you as well, Karl.
Yeah, cheers for having me.
Follow Karl, and I'll put it on YouTube. I've got you sent me your.
Yeah. I'll ping the video over.
All right, well, anyway, boys, hope your team win tomorrow. We're
going to be on the end of a cricket score. We're at City tomorrow, so we've been talking about it. So.
Oh, well,
I'll be burying my hand in the sand and hoping we keep it respectful.
I hope you win, Karl. I hope you win.
You and me both.
I'll see you later, boys.
Cheers, lads.
Thanks a lot, boys.